Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's recap and a review. Sorry, I hit the microphone bad. Let me try that again because I'm gonna restart it. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's recap and review. This is for House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 3. I'm not sure what this episode is called, but we'll pretend it's called Crispy Gets Away in the Woods, or Damon's Scary Night at Harrenhal, whatever you want to call it. Luigi's Mansion? Damon's Mansion? I don't know. Damon Luigi's Mansion? I don't know why I'm stuck on Luigi, but I'm stuck on something. This was another episode of House of the Dragon, and I'm excited to come out here and talk about it, but I'm not alone. Of course I'm not alone. When I'm out here in this silly adventure, I have with me some of the best, some of the beautiful, some of the most amazing people in the world alive. We got Phantom DC, we got Rishi, we got Sci-Fi Girl, we got JC Wilder, let's call it Eamon's Cock's episode. Blowjobs in Eamon's Cock, we could call it that. We could call it Drunk Aegon and the Frat Boys. Aegon and the Drunken Frat Boys. I love seeing some of the manipulation in this episode. This was another smaller episode, which I'm appreciating this season on House of the Dragon. It reminded me a little bit more of Game of Thrones Season 2, Season 3 vibe a little bit. Where it's a little bit smaller focus, but some big moments that pop in here and there and everywhere and all over my face. No pausing. Stephen Michael Davis with a super chat donation. Thank you so much. I haven't had a drink yet, so I'll take a sip of my drink for this amazing super chat. Oh, here I am. I'm back. Stephen Michael Davis. Love the Millie Alcock's cock. Did I say that wrong, or am I saying that in a dirty way for no particular reason other than saying the word cock? Millie Alcock. I didn't think it was like Alcox or something. Oh, I guess that's the same thing. But we'll say that Stephen Michael Davis won the... Oh, anyways. Millie's Alcock. The cameo. The nitpickers will hate that Rhaenyra's Renaissance mission, but I still love the episode. Keep up the good work, Phil. Keep up the good work with giving me super chats. That's very good work, too. I like that we saw her in there. I like the end of this episode where we actually get Alicent and Rhaenyra saying the stuff. There was a moment in that conversation where I'm like, they're not going to talk about the prince that was promised shit. I like that we kind of got that moment with the two of them. I mean, I would say of the 3 episodes, this is probably not my favorite of the 3, but I did not like it. It's just I liked episode 1, and I think I would go 2, 1, 3 so far, as I like keeping a tally as we go through the season. But still a good episode of the show. Really small scale, awesome interaction, some good funny humor mixed in, some Bridge 4 humor with Damon and Harrenhal, with the subtle back and forth between him and the Strong. I like how we got a little bit more with. Do you want to join the show, Dog? You want to join the show? With hearing about, or just getting more menace thrown out there for Clubfoot. Like Clubfoot, he's gonna be a problem. He's a dangerous dude. I also have the phone lines open tonight. We got some messages from Antoine Thomas. We'll play in a little bit, but if you want to call in, the voicemail line is open right now. I'll have the actual call-in line on in a little bit once we get through our little preamble here, and I actually take a step. But Stephen Michael Davis, I promised to do it, and I haven't done it yet. But I got to do it, and let's do it. Let's play this sort of our good buddy. We haven't seen you in a while, good buddy. But I hope you're watching this at some point too. Let's play your song to distract. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. Yeah, Bela trying not to be her dad, big time. I still would have burned them all in that situation. Burn them all. Cats of Saturn. They handled it Cats. They handled it clumsily. I don't know if George R. R. Martin added it to the lore after Game of Thrones. That's all. Oh, talking about Dan and Dave in the live chat. Yeah. They got super. Yeah. I'm gonna jump in that conversation, but let me get a couple of sips of the wacky, alcohol-y tobacco. No, whatever. Okay, I can't say it. I may go to sleep early, but yeah, if you have to go to sleep early, thank you so much for popping on in here. Anyone that is in there, make sure you hit that like button. And that's not just because I need to know that you're having a good time, and thank you, subscriber, that just joined our fun. It's just, it helps it get to more people. And when you got, some of those bigger channels right now that have like 20,000 people watching live or something, let's get more people over here. And definitely make sure you step over to the sister podcast over there, the Direwolf City who are going live. We will be doing some sort of crossover event at some point in time this season. We just need to figure it out. Probably not next week, but the week after. Maybe we'll figure it out for. I got to talk to Gray Area and everybody over there to figure out the details of it. But we will be. Gray put it in the chat today, so I can say it. We're gonna do a crossover at some point this year with Direwolf City recap as well. Holy shyster! The Sonic Your Boy has become a sponsor on the channel. Thank you so much, Sonic Your Boy. I have to take another sip of alcohol just for that. Yeah, the Throne Loaner Incognito. It's a big chair made of freaking swords. Well, where are you going? Where are you going, Bashan? What are you doing? No, don't go. No, because you got to unplug the thing. Sorry, I'm dealing with a new guest here tonight. Big E. We got a Big E super chat. Winner of episode 3, Hot Nun Rhaenyra. Fire Sir Crispin Cole's barber for that hideous haircut. Yeah, it wasn't doing Crispy any favors. It's like me. If I had short hair, you'd see my ears would be like, Dumbo. I could like get flight with those ears. And that's why I hide my ears behind this long, ridiculous hair. Okay, let's keep going. Mark, hey, Houston, I hope you stuck around and you had some patience and didn't want me to rush the process of getting started before I poured a damn drink. We got a few voicemails rolling in right now. Like I said, I'll take your voicemails in a few moments here, and then I'll open to the phone lines, to the call-in line in a little bit. Please share your thoughts on this particular episode. What did you think? I need to know what you think to figure out what I think, because I can't actually have an opinion. I have to actually just agree with what the consensus says. I have to see what the AI chat replay says about everybody right now. Sonic Your Boy says, I was expecting Damon to do the Thriller dance. It did look like there was a moment in there where he might have busted into song. I don't know if they were just trying that out on Tony's stream or this has to go a little longer, but I'm not getting the AI chat. And I'm upset about this. I was screaming for Rhaenyra to pull that mask up a bit. The Harrenhal stuff was my favorite. Love seeing that. Rishi, me too, because I feel like we didn't get enough Harrenhal in the main series to really understand the whole thing of it all. And I thought that scene was done exceptionally well with Damon's dream or vision flashing over to young Rhaenyra and sewing up the baby, like seeing his responsibility for that, and then mixing that with the Red Witch. I believe it was a Red Witch. Talking to Damon about you will die here one day. I thought that whole section, Damon's whole section of this episode, was exceptionally well done and well acted. And he threw in so much like little humor with it all as he got to Harrenhal. Like he kept wanting to fight the fight. Like he didn't want it to be easy. And that it was funny as well. Brendan says, much better episode than the last one. Superb editing and pacing. For me, this was the best one, even though they're all close. Damon's castle creep was so well done, as with the church scene post-battle. And I think you make a good point, Brendan, in the sense that if I put 2, 1, 3, it's close, though. And on a rewatch, I may feel a little different on that as well. But this was a very awesome episode, Brendan. Thank you for pooping in there. Did I just say pooping in there? Thank you for pooping in there. I mean, I guess you could be watching. Hey, Worf, welcome back. Okay, Nola Boy. Great to see Nola Boy. Toast to you, my friend. Fandom D Saint in the live chat. Love you, buddy. Clubfoot. Yeah, Clubfoot was a problem, is going to be a problem, and is a mother frickin' problem. Me too, Phil, 2 and 3. I'm getting drunk tonight. Good, Varkey Houston. Let's toast it up. This is my drinking night of the week. Even though this is kind of a weird week. This is going to be a weird week. But I'm a little piece of me was hoping they would just kiss. Just, God, oh, come on. Save me, 213, great episode. Oh, 213. Yeah, last week's episode, what you were saying, whoever said that, I'm skipping. I'll just call you random caller, random chatter number 101, that was saying that this week's pacing was, and I feel you on that. Last week just had it right for me. It was like the right combination of everything coming together. So I would go, again, 2-1-3, but it's close. All 3 of these episodes have been on par to what I was hoping this season would be. And more. I feel like this season is a little bit more textured and subtle. It's a little bit more of a character piece than last season was. I feel like they're really taking the time to get to know some of the characters that we maybe didn't necessarily skip over, but we didn't take the time to get to know them quite as well throughout season 1, where season 1 felt a little bit more like action piece to action piece. This feels like a little bit more of getting into character and learning and understanding motivation, especially these last 2 episodes. These last 2 episodes have really sort of put the brake on. I just got put the it put a the trumpet player in me. I can't help but vibrate my lips. Hope you're watching. Okay, Sci-Fi Girl. Great episode. Great episode. Clubfoot was a problem. He is a problem. And you know who else is a problem? That Dickon's a problem. He's a problem. I have a problem with that Dickon. Dickon, tell us how much of a problem you are.
Dickon.
Yeah, you're a problem, Dickon. Problem. Dickon. Dickon.
Dickon. Dickon. Dickon. Dickon, 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 Dickon.
Okay, thank you, Dickon, for allowing me to have this. That Dickon. This smoke break is brought to you by Dickon. Dickon for all your Dickon needs. Okay, so vibrating lips. Phantom D saying that was my audition tape for the next brothel scene. And we have the amazing, wonderful Miss Smokahontas in the live chat. Great to see Nicole in the live chat. Great to see our good buddy and the amazing Pete Easy in there too. Great to see Pete Easy. Toast to you, my friend. And Sonic, your boy, was not cool with what Aegon did to Aemon. I don't know why I had to rhyme that like that. It's a lot. I mean, I'm talking by myself here. It's Aegon to Aemon to Aemon to Aegon to doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. What are you talking about, Phil? I don't know what you're talking about. But it's like, you're in a whorehouse and you're laying with your first girl and now I'm gonna let my young guy do her. It was a horrible scene. It was like a horrible douchey brother kind of moment. And as much as I've been singing the praises of not him as a person, of the character, he continues to kill every scene he's in. He's a scene stealer this season. And I love what they're doing with Aegon. Because he's uniquely douchey. He's not Joffrey douchey. He's not like bloodthirsty. He's just, I keep saying bro dude, but he's like bro duty. But he's also emotional and childlike. Like tantrumy. He drank too much tantrum, but he's not reading the room situation correctly. And I like that scene. I like how I didn't like it. It was horrible, but it was a believable scene from what's been set up. And he tends to try to kind of hold it up and not be a dickbag, but then he was just drunk in the brothel all night. He couldn't help himself. Great to see everyone in the live chat. We got another super chat donation. Stephen Michael Davis, 213 is on point. Are all good. Who is the woman who told Damon he would die in Harrenhal? I think people that know the story better than I do, which is you all in the chat that have probably know Fire and Blood better than I do. I believe it was a red witch that was telling him. She looked familiar. Was that Minerva or whatever? No, I don't think it was. But it looked like one of the red witches that was telling him that. But Aegon is kind of more entertaining than Joffrey. Because Joffrey's one note. Joffrey's bloodthirsty, amazing performance by Jackie Gleason. But Aegon is making me laugh on a scene-by-scene basis. Joffrey, it's like the horror. You know, you turn into Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now. The horror. You know, it's like you're watching the car crash and stuff like that. Both amazing performances and both amazing characters. But Aegon, he's cracking me up. I almost am looking forward every week to seeing his wacky hijinks. I'm gonna come out there and fight. I'm the dragon cock. And then Loras just playing him like a fiddle. He's just so easy to manipulate too. It was amazing. Oh, that was Alice Rivers. She'll be important later. Thank you. Thank you. Someone was telling me that was not a Red Witch. That was Alice Rivers. She will be important later. Thank you. Yeah, and then all the new Kingsguard are all like bro dudes. It was really fun. It was good times. Okay, what am I doing here? I am catching up with the live chat. And we've got some voicemails. Let me set this up. Speaking, we're talking about this suave motherfucker. The stream already started, Phil. Come on. What are you doing here? No, don't get the Sopranos. This isn't Technical Difficulties by Tony Soprano, Phil. What the fuck? I'm trying to find some stuff here, but let's listen to a voicemail. Our first one from our good buddy, Antoine Thomas.
Okay. I am confused here. There's no wars going on here today, but Rhaenyra and Alice is talking. What is going on here, man? This makes me want to give up on this show the same way they gave up on Star Wars Acolytes. I mean, I'm just looking at this, I'm like, this is a total shit. Where's the action? And should Mrs. Valerian be dead already? And Aegon puts out a scar on his face from the fight. I mean, and plus, Aegon is in the whorehouse. Man, this is a middle finger.
Sounds like Antoine Thomas wanted more blood, did not like the peace accord, did not like the middle of heat, like when Robert De Niro and Al Pacino meet in the middle of the movie to have the discussion between the good guy and the bad guy. And I'm hearing you, Antoine Thomas. I hear what you're saying, and I got another message from you in a second that I will play, but let's get to 859 for right now. Excuse me. Someone's talking about Craigslist? Oh, what's going on here?
Hey, Phil, listen, quick question. I don't know if you've read the books or not, but I know that they bring this up in the first episode. I believe Damon brings up that Dalton Greyjoy is the leader of the Iron Island right now, and I'm not sure which side he's on or what role he plays because I've not really read the books lately. So I was listening to Princess and the Queen, but I don't remember, so I was just wondering.
Let me hear that again. I did read the books. I listened to the audiobooks. I don't know them quite as well as some other folks. So I would this is me doing the Miracle on 34th Street Santa Claus thing. I will go, the two people I'm suggesting to go watch right now are Preston and Carmine, who are live right now, or Direwolf City friends. Both my people, my friends. I would go ask Preston that question. I bet he would know the answer in like a half a fucking second. I do not know that offhand, but I do appreciate the question. Thank you so much, my friend. Let's go. Oh, Leanna Finn. Listen. I might need to just stop this stream right now, Leanna, and you and I might need to just talk all about Jamie Lee Curtis's performance in episode 7 of season 3 of The Bear. Ice chips. Jesus, can we just give Jamie Lee Curtis all the awards? She might, in fact, be the greatest actor of all time. I don't know. But that's one of my favorite characters I've ever seen in anything, anywhere. So, or not favorite. I don't like it. Okay, let's continue with House of the Dragon. Let's see what else Antoine Thomas had to say tonight.
Hey, I forgot to ask to tell y'all viewers who watching bills and shit, you best cover your windows tonight, your mirrors tonight, because there's a lot of incidents like
is this like a Bloody Mary situation, Antoine?
Let's say ghost or something. They seen Daenerys through the mirrors.
I ain't afraid no ghosts.
And because Joe Dirt was in a fetal position, and
thank you, Killmonger. You're the best, my friend.
I don't know why Phil didn't tell you this shit, but he went to see him, and the room was pulled on the graveyard.
Oh
shift.
no!
He opened it up. He said, "You okay?" He said, "He's not." He said, "He sees dead Targaryen." So he was like, "Do you see Viserys, Daenerys' brother?" He's like, "Look." Phil looking around, like, And Phil looking at this man like he's fucking crazy.
I'm going to play the rest of your message in a second. I just want to make sure I get to the super chat. Kelly Johnson, the wonderful Kelly Johnson. Thank you so much for that super chat donation. You're incredible, buddy. Says Alice Rivers has marked Damon for death. I know I said a red priestess a second ago. Alice Rivers, great moment. And it's good to see that character who will be a big character moving forward. Lanthan, she does deserve an Emmy right now. Give her all the awards. That's all I care about. I want to give Jamie Lee Curtis all the awards. All of them. She was great in Fishes, and this was another amazing, in a lifetime of incredible acting performances that Jamie Lee Curtis has given. This character might be her best performance ever. And I'm sorry. I won't talk about the bear all night. And I'm not giving spoilers necessarily, except to say Jamie Lee Curtis is in the next season. Is in the new season. Okay, let me continue. Cats of Saturn says, but he got pissed about the song. Like he was angry that he didn't know about it. Maybe I'm reading too much into that. She deserves an Emmy. Now, I left a question about Dalton Greyjoy. JC Wadler, I don't know offhand that information. I babbled about it a second ago. I don't know if you've got to that point in the live chat yet. I'm doing the Miracle on 34th Street, Santa Claus. I would go ask Gray or Preston, who are both live right now, but both of them probably know the source material a bit better than I do and could answer that question a bit easier. I'm like the worst podcasting host of all time. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, go listen to the other people. They'll tell you what to do. They'll tell you that information. I don't know dick. I'm just having a good time drinking. Join the party. Listen to one person talk for 2 hours. No, I'm kidding. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Lynn. I can't play it again tonight. Only once every night. I just can't do it. You know, it's not that kind of thing.
Dick on, dick on, dick on. Dick on, dick on, dick on.
Oh, come on. Stop that.
Dick on.
No, stop that. I don't want to hear it.
Dick on, dick on, dick on. Dick on, dick on, dick on.
Okay, stop that. My producer thinks he's funny. Okay, what are you going to do, Reek? What are you doing? Is Damon's closest to Old Valyrian singing to dragons' visions? He definitely has the blood of the dragon. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you to everyone that's joining me tonight. As I said, I know you guys got a lot of choices, a lot of really good, awesome folks streaming right now, talking about this episode. I appreciate any of you that happen to pop on in here tonight and say hello. So, I don't know why I said that like Dr. Cox. So, newbie. I don't like to know. I kind of don't either, in the sense, because I am, as much as I do love to take in literary information, I never learned to read. I just can't do it. I look at the words and they dance. I think I took way too many like mushrooms and stuff like that. I lost the ability. I can't even see the words on the screen right now. They're just dancing. I don't know. I have a little audio thing reading your comments in the live chat to me. I can't read. But I listen to audiobooks and stuff like that. But I'm a sort of television and visual stuff is my thing. That's how I like taking in information. Even when I have to, like, in schools or with notes, I would always like ask the teachers if it's okay if I brought in a tape recorder because I can't learn from writing. I want to like listen to the shit. Or when I'm in a play and doing acting, if I have to learn lines, I can't learn them from reading them. I have to like record them myself saying them, then listen to it over and over again. That's how I learn information. But anyway, so I'm like a visual audio person anyway. So I'm always gearing towards the television. Someone's like, it's not like the book's not. Most likely I haven't read it. Or if I have, I've listened to it and it's a way of enhancing my television watching experience. So yeah, I'm all about the show. I'm all about, I listen to Fire and Blood. I listen to it on an airplane flights, and I know I missed some of it, and I fell asleep, and I listened to more and over again. The information is in there. I know the series of events, but I don't know the specific details. I haven't listened to that or read that in the repetition that I have the main series. So yeah. Oh, Miss Duck in the Tall. It feels like family to hang out and get to talk to you guys. And that's honestly what I want to do here, whether we have 5 people or 50 people or more than that. I want to just have us hang out. You know, it's fun to hang out with your friends, have a few drinks, talk about bullshit about the TV shows that we're watching. And I appreciate all of you guys joining the pot. I was going to say this like total boss. Join the party, dudes. You know, come on. Fuck it. Way too much, Ryan. Trekkie support Trekkie. You know it. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Jack me off. Did you watch? I did not watch the preview, but that's good to know that we have a big battle coming next time. Damon got a taste of the old gods tonight. I read a lot, too much, so I hate spoiling shows and movies for myself. That's probably smart. I know somebody that, like, certain people just cut themselves off completely. Like, they don't want to see anything. Bridge was talking about that a little bit. Like, he doesn't want to see previews usually, or he won't watch it. I had a friend named, a friend of mine named Steph. She would freak out, you know, like if you told her anything. She didn't want to know anything before she saw a movie, play, or television show. She didn't want to know what it was. If you were like, come to my play, she didn't want to know what you're in until she gets there. I did Kelly Johnson. I definitely got, and the way that they sort of integrated it into story was done really well too. No, you are Jack me off. You jacking me. Oh, sorry. VFW Warlord Phil, you're back doing Game of Thrones. Good deal. Yes, I am back in this world. I'll be covering every one of the Game of Thrones spinoffs. Hopefully we can get Joe and Katie on one of these. They're not feeling this particular show, but I'm hoping that they feel Dunk and Egg. Excuse me for 1 second. Audio problems. I'm hoping they're going to want to get on the Dunk and Egg train with me and get to do all of that. So great. So no spoilers. No. Definitely no spoilers here for things to come necessarily. I won't be jumping the gun on that. We'll be watching this more of a television show. I will warn you, Sandroko, I can't control the chat room, and there are people that have watched stuff, and that's why I sort of familiarized myself with what was going to happen, so I made my choice myself, not looking. So proceed with caution if you want to be surprised. But yes, none of that here. So you can go over to Alt Shift and tell 10% of his audience to come here, and he'll still have 20,000 viewers. So who gives a fuck? Love you, buddy. Toast. Phil, was that a dragon dream or a green dream? I think it was a dragon dream, right? But who knows? It might have been a Are you talking about Damon's dream? Is that what you're talking about, Kelly? Clarify for me for a second, just because I want to make sure I'm talking about the right thing. Could also be a Harrenhal ghost haunting him in his sleep sort of situation, if you're talking about Damon. So I viewed it more as a dragon dream kind of thing. I think it was Kelly. It was, by the tree. Yep. No, that would make sense, too, because he was standing by the tree. Oh, I cannot wait for Dunk and Egg. That's the one. That was the one I wanted to be first. If you go back to like the Con of Thrones, I did a spin-off panel back in 2018. 18 was it? 17, 18? Maybe it was, or it might have been the 2019 one. One of those. And the question was to me, what do you want as the first Game of Thrones spin-off if there is one? And for me, it's always been the Dunk and Egg thing. I think it's made for television. I mean, the novellas are excellent, and it's an amazing story, and all of that. But I think the way it's set up is very much set up like almost with TV in mind. I don't think George meant it that way, but you can see it, you can feel it. You can feel how the series would work really well, and I also think the smaller focus on, even though there are a lot of things going on the two characters, our two main characters, is going to be an interesting connective tissue into the Game of Thrones world. I think House of Dragon's a great pick too, and this has been an awesome run, and I can't wait to talk about the rest of the show. Some part of me wonders if, HBO was doing another series about a pair, and they wanted to wait for that to air first before doing that one first. But who knows? Or give George some more time to write to finish it off. But I think we all know where that series is going to end. Whether it ends there, whether it ends in a way that we think it might end, I would assume the last thing we see in a Dunk and Egg series is going to be Summerhall, right? I mean, that seems like it would be the logical conclusion. No spoilers, but I assume that would be the logical conclusion for the for what's gonna happen in that series, but who knows? We'll see. Ryan, I don't know the actor's name, but if you Google it right now, you will find pictures. Yes, 18. I was there. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it was 18. Okay, it was. I remember specifically doing a spin-off panel. Sci-fi girl's like, I don't want those people in our party. Oh, mother grabber. The amazing Heath Hinton is in the live chat, everybody. Let's not waste any time. It's let's play Emily.
I had to get drunk as hell last night. I gotta be honest with you, after that episode.
Thank you, Emily. Old time caller Emily. That hasn't called in a while. Sorry, Heath. I was gonna play a song or something, but it was the first thing that I clicked on. Yeah, I believe they've already cast it. You can find that information. It's out there. The information is out there. But it's a good question, Ryan. That's a good damn question. I don't know. But do you know what else is a good damn question? Do you know what else is the time of my life? It's time to get into this. It's time to waste no more time. It's time for a recap! Okay, here we go. Let's get into this recap. Okay, so let's get into this recap tonight. Oh, let me see. Okay, so this episode starts out where we get some Blackwoods and I want to smoke some Blackwoods and some Bracken stuff. And this was cool. It was an interesting intro. This show's done that so a lot where they sort of come in mid-action into what's happening. We got the whole Hatfields and McCoys situation going on here. The face melted. Are you talking about my puppy, Lotus is dealing with some illnesses these days and is unfortunately having to stay at Stephanie's as I had split custody of her for a long time. She's doing well. She'll be here not next week, but the week after. Because she's staying with me for a week, but she's unfortunately dealing with some health issues, but she's... Oh, wow, did you just go up to the... She went up to... Is that a dog? But this is my friend's dog, or one of my work dogs, which happens to be a friend's dog as well. So. We do need to talk about Otto in a second. Unfortunately, this is a show like with the F Otto song where like Otto was actually in this episode. So do I warrant playing the F Otto song? You know, like I feel like I'm forcing it. I'm forcing some F Otto. I'm having to stick it in somewhere, but we'll find an opportunity for it. We got Kelly Johnson, who's just become a member, or is a member for 10 months, an eighth of support. Kelly Johnson, you're the man. Phil, remember the debate with Tony about green seer dreams versus other kinds of dreams? You and Bridge argued that the dragon's dreams were separate. Yes, I think that it comes from different places. I know Tony thinks all of the vision. I'm paraphrasing. Tony needs to, I don't want to. Tony, if you're watching, feel free to call in, and you're welcome to come in at any point in time you want. If I get this wrong, but I believe Tony believes that all visions in the world of A Song of Ice and Fire are green seer dreams. Come from the same place, just interpreted in a different way, depending on what somebody believes or something. Again, Tony would have to clarify that for you more specific. I don't necessarily like to, verbalize someone else's theories or thoughts without qualifying that I might be full of shit right here. But I believe that's what Tony believes. Kelly Johnson. Oh, Pete's Live Music. I didn't notice that I had a couple of messages from Pete's Live Music. Let me get my Joffrey screen up here before we get too far into this recap, and let's catch up in these voicemails right now. As soon as I get into through this recap a little bit, I'll open up for call-ins if you want, but I like the voicemails too. Let you plan what you want to say a little bit. Here we go.
Hey, Phil, great episode. I thought it was a great episode.
Shout
out to
I think you're a great episode, Pete's Live Music.
The costume designers for the armor. There's some cool-ass armor all over that. Anyway, I was calling because I wanted to know which pronunciation you like better, usurper or usurper. Now, I'm hearing it both ways. I think actually the word is usurper.
Usurper.
You're
usurping
the throne,
me.
It's like an S. But is it cooler when they say usurper? I'm kind of leaning on the zerper Z.
I like the Z Zerpin. Zerpin sounds like Zorpin and Zork. Reminds me of a video game I used to like. But I think the more traditional pronunciation is my correct nomenclatures. The Pete's Live Music again. Let's do it.
Yes, it is time once again for the man we all await. Narration guy.
Oh, yes.
I know just as easy for you, my boy.
He pulls back the curtain, revealing a woman giving fellatio to a man.
No. She's left 3 times.
He pulls back other curtains, showing women and men having sex.
Oh, she's good. Her name is, Sylvie, or Chelsea, or...
Aegon opens a curtain. Beyond, Damon lies naked with a woman on the circular bed below the fresco. Damon stiffly sits up.
Aemon's a beard!
Yeah, too funny.
I actually have to play that again because that was too funny.
Yes, it is time once again for the man we all await. Narration guy.
I know just as easy for you, my boy.
He pulls back the curtain, revealing a woman giving fellatio to a man.
No. She's left 3 times.
He pulls back other curtains, showing women and men having sex.
Oh, she's good. Her name is, Sylvie, or Chelsea, or...
Aegon opens a curtain. Beyond, Damon lies naked with a woman on the circular bed below the fresco. Damon stiffly sits up.
Aemon's a beard!
Yeah, too funny.
That was great. That was really perfect. Ryan says Tony was talking about Aemon, but boy is Toad. Survey says did I make the wrong survey? I wasn't watching the chat. What was the survey question? What do I need? What do I need to make a survey for? I just saw someone say make a survey, so I'm like, make it quick. Doesn't matter what the question is, just make the damn survey. But we'll see what people say on this one. What the survey says. So we open up and there's some soldiers here. Tony was talking shit about Aemon. Yeah, but he's definitely Toad. So we open up to some soldiers, some Bracken stuff. Put the boundaries, get back on your side. I like how all this was done in the sense of the way we kind of see it all happen. We see the lead up, and then they sort of, and everything's bright, and then they cut immediately to the to all the war and the bodies lined up and just lots of bodies everywhere. And I mean, yeah, would I like to see that fight? Maybe, but whatever. It was a very well edited kind of moment where we cut to all those bodies. Then we get the funeral, and Rhaenyra is getting. It's just sad. Everyone's sort of whispering in Rhaenyra's ear, talking about, Otto would never do this. And everyone's trying to influence Rhaenyra in different ways. Get her to act, get her to go full dragon crazy, burn everything. And then we get a like, oh yeah, Otto wouldn't do this. Otto wouldn't kill kids. And I found it.
It's a hot tower rent tonight. It's a hot tower rent tonight. Fuck Otto. Fuck Otto. Fuck Otto. Fuck Otto. It's a hot tower rent tonight. It's a hot tower rent tonight. Fuck Otto. Fuck Otto. Fuck Otto. Fuck Otto. It's a hot tower rent tonight. It's a hot tower rent tonight. Fuck Otto. 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 Fuck Otto.
I had to get drunk as hell last night. I gotta be honest with you, after that episode.
Okay, so no one will ever remember what's causing this war. Yeah, and no one will remember what the cause is, and it'll just be a war. Rhaenyra is talking, it's building it all up, and she's not going to just answer violence and violence. And they talk a little bit more about Alicent. This is all, a lot of this could just, even what I'm saying, could just be foreplay leading to this final scene. I mean, all of the stuff on the council is all about Rhaenyra holding out hope for that one hope that her and Alicent can kind of reach an armistice of some sort. Where is that fucking Otto? He needs some minoxidil. Okay, so Alicent, she doesn't believe that Alicent would permit letting a little boy die. Rhaenyra's like, no, whatever. It doesn't matter. So we go to Crispy time. Crispy gets a look on his face like maybe he doesn't feel like he's a fit for this particular job. And he's coming on down to face his men. And I don't know if this was done on, I assume it was done on purpose. All the new Kingsguard look like a bunch of clumsy oafs. They're just all Aegon's bro dudes and shit. Crispy comes down, and they're all like hanging out on the stairs, all scratching their asses. Just whatever. And then we get Crispy going to the small council, and they give a report of what happens, and everyone's just shitting on the plan to have Eric go there and try to kill Rhaenyra. And I marked on my notes, and I want to ask you guys in the live chat: is Aegon's small council the dumbest small council that we've seen so far in any season of Game of Thrones, of any people? The dumbest, the worst bunch of like own agenda asshats. Is that it? Is this group? I don't know. I asked myself that same question, John Haymaker. Can Crispy actually, are you allowed to hold both positions? Has anyone else in the history of Westeros held both positions? I don't know. Either way, dumbest small council ever. And we hear a little bit more about Darren. We hear Jason Lannister get a mention in all of this too. And one of my favorite lines in all of this was when the Maester starts offering up military strategies, and someone goes, I forget who said it, but we gotta listen to the great military mind of the Citadel. It was a good line. And Crispy's like, I will go to Harrenhal, and I will fuck Damon in his ass, and I will get the Brackens and the blah, 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 and we'll get more men, and yada, yada, yada. And then Alicent starts spinning some ghost tales about Harrenhal. Harrenhal's scary. And then we get a little shell game with Aegon wanting to be a tough bastard. To be like, I'm coming too. And Aemon was going to go with Vhagar, but they're like, no, Vhagar has to stay and guard King's Landing. So Aegon's like, I'll go. I'll be on the back of my dragon. I'm as fierce a warrior as Aemon. And the room just goes, zzz. Yeah, dude, you're totally a tough guy. Yeah, buddy, look at you. You're totally tough. He's like, I'm going. No, Captain Picard, you cannot go on the OA mission. Stay up there. You're not Kirk. You're not going on the mission. Sure, buddy. Whatever. But that gets dealt with later with the clubfoot. Rhaenyra is trying to be a paragon. She has good intentions and some petulance still. That's a lot of hats. Crispin Cole had the position of doggy while being pegged by good old Allie. Yeah, they have red one, didn't they? Aegon has chosen the worst hand and whispers. Maybe the most important choices. And then he's got the dumbass Lannister hanging out there. That's like dumb dog Lannister. Or, oh, sorry. I gotta get a new mic cord. Hey now, that's what she said. I need to get a new. If I hit it even a little bit, it makes that loud, obnoxious sound. I don't know if it's as loud for you as it is for me. Aegon is just stupid. Old Torf, haven't watched yet. Just wanted to say hi. Oh, Old Torf. Toast to you, my friend. Larys Strong isn't a bad master of whispers. He just needs to be reined in. Ryan, I'm going to say you're correct. I don't know if I implied that and what someone said. I think the problem with Larys, if he wanted to do the job for you, he would probably be a good master of whispers. But he'd always be working his own agenda. And if you ever piss him off even a little bit, he's going to be working against you. So it is something that you need to kind of keep an eye on with him. So I don't know if he's someone you want to give too much power, but I do think he is uniquely qualified for the position of Master of Whispers with his skill set. It's just he happens to use that for his own narcissistic agenda rather than to serve a king. I am thrown in the live chat. Great to see you, buddy. Larys just needs some feet. Yeah, exactly. If you keep Larys salivated with feet, he's going to do a good job for you. You take away his foot fun. His fun foot. Footy fun. Foot. Heath, I see your voicemail. I will play it in a second, my friend. Okay, I'm so glad we got this in this episode because I mentioned this last week thinking that we had it with the look of her face. I talked about this earlier on Tony's stream, so I'm glad that I actually got verification of this, which I think was supposed to be obvious, but it didn't play as obvious as it should have in the episode. The White Worm did give the warning to Eric that Eric was there or somebody, and they didn't believe her at first, but she's like, oh wait, the twinnie's there, and that sort of hindered the ability to kill Rhaenyra. And Rhaenyra is with her, and she's like, I'm going to be rewarded with a place in your court. And, yep. And so there she goes. She worked her way into Rhaenyra's court as essentially her master of whispers, mistress of whispers. And yeah, Rhaenyra talking, telling her she needs to go make a sacrifice. Oh, Rhaena and Rhaenyra are talking, saying she needs to go and go get out of there, get the kid out of there, and she sends her on a mission away from it all. Oh, I know. That is a risky proposition, Jack me off. Nominating me master of anything except for master of drums. Master of issues. Phil, Lord, master of house issues. I will take that, Ryan. John, he completed his surface hours. Before that scene. Hello, everybody. He's a sneaky little guy like the Grinch. Wow, the Grinch. I mentioned the Grinch earlier. Oh, gosh, sorry. I have to avoid texting at the moment. Could the whispers be whispering to each other? That would be an interesting proposition as well. So we go off to cool dragon shit as Damon is approaching Harrenhal, and it just looks awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Jack me off. And we hear some footsteps with Damon walking into Harrenhal, ready to fight. Great shot of him walking around and seeing Harrenhal in ways that we haven't seen before. I thought all of this was the best section of the episode. Long shots, really getting to see the size. It's huge. Of Harrenhal. And he found somebody. He heads into a keep. And he punches somebody out and then heads into a little keep area. And he's like, He's like, I claim Harrenhal. Yeah, go ahead, take it. Simon Strong is like, yeah, sure. Go for it, Damon, whatever. And here's my daughter. You want some champagne? You want some cabbage for dinner? Sorry that my beans are disgusting. And they have an awkward dinner where Damon's like hand on sword wanting to kill somebody. And they're like, yeah, how you doing? Welcome, Damon. You know, you're not a danger. And then they shit talk the clubfoot a little bit because everyone in the Strong family knows that he burned Rhaenyra's baby's daddy and Harwin Strong. And they're like, we all hate his ass. So we're on your side. We declare for Rhaenyra. Damon wants to fight, but he's like, yeah, you know what? And he sort of relaxes. And then we get a back and forth where they start ragging on the disrepair of Harrenhal. This is all just comedy gold. I mean, I could reiterate every line that goes back and forth. We get a little bit more of the Bracken in the Blackwood's history. Damon doesn't want to talk about all this shit. He doesn't care about this guy has no bowels. I'm Damon, and I'll show the power of dragons. And I love how Damon just keeps mentioning his dragons, like some guy he's like, don't make me whip my dragon out. yeah, we get it. You have a fucking dragon, Damon. No, come on. Are you overcompensating, buddy? Come on. Thank you, John Haymaker. Aged meat and peas. Phil, HBO told you that. They did. Got pre-screeners. Motherfuckers. Kelly Johnson. Oh my goodness. Damon wants to fight. It's a happy times. It's all happy times. Damon sees him. He wants to respect him. Okay, so we get more of this history. Damon wants to talk, but some dude doesn't have the bowels. He wants to see him, and he'll respect dragons because I got a dragon. You know I have a dragon, right? You know I have a dragon. And then what are we going to do? We're going to march on King's Landing. You know, there's a throne there. It's a big chair made of swords. It's a funny moment where he says that. Damon acts like a guy that nicknames himself. Yeah, exactly. Damon has a fraction of Dany's brother Viserys in him. Like, don't wake the dragon. I mean, but he can back it up. Unlike Viserys, he can't back it up. But Damon walks around a little bit like that sometimes. You know, I have a dragon. I don't know, Song. I didn't think about that. Were those Dany's eggs? Huh. The colors were right, weren't they? I was watching like this, and I was also trying to text with someone at the same time. So I was distracted. They might have been Dany's eggs. No, I love Damon too, Ryan. But it's his imperfections that makes him such an entertaining character to me. Because it's all believable and it all makes sense from like where the standpoint he came from and what kind of person he is. So, he says no, the eggs were different colors. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm having an attack of Daenerys, I guess. People say I don't think so. Ryan says 3 of them might have been. Didn't think about that. I didn't think about it either, to be honest with you. So I didn't look for it. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. I need someone in the chat to scare me. Excuse me while I play a song and try to get rid of this. Excuse me. Okay, that's better. Sometimes you get the hiccups when you just can't get a burp out. That's what kind of hiccups it was. I must admit, though, my ex can verify this. I once had the hiccups for, I think it was like 9 months. I thought I was going to kill myself. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was really bad hiccups, consistently for like 9 months, almost a year. Anyways, it's Groot. As soon as we get to the solo of this song, I'm going to run in the other room and refill my drink. And then I'm going to come back and play Pete and Heath's voicemail, but let me see how far I can make it through this. Allison and Crispy get their soldiers ready. Crispy gets a haircut, and they flirt. and they muse a little bit more about Harrenhal. It was almost like a Sons of Anarchy finish where he heads out with all the dudes on the horseback, and Alicent says goodbye like Gemma. It was a wonderful moment. Ryan said I can't stand the hiccups, and I get them for hours. Me too sometimes. I get it like a bubble or something. It's bad. I want to have like a dragon claw can burn me up. Caraxes can eat me alive if I have those hiccups ever again. You guys in the live chat are cracking me up. As there's more talk about whether those were Dany's eggs, keep it in the comment section. If you're listening to this later, pop that in the comment section. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Now we get Rhaenyra's army, and again, Rhaenyra's group trying to encourage her to go full out with dragons and stuff like that. She's like, dragons against dragons is when problems happen. She starts quoting her dad. The dude laughs at her, essentially, and he's like, "No, we need to win this war. We need to act while we still have an advantage." And excuse me. So now Rhaenyra's like, "Shut up, dude," and the dude's being disrespectful. And you can see Rhaenys looking the whole time like, "You guys are disrespecting Rhaenyra, and you best stop, or I'm going to step in and kill you." And these soldiers in the council are just talking so much shit, and Rhaenyra is like, "I'm going to do this my way," and walks off. "I'm going to take everything into account and think about what I want to do." And Rhaenys goes, because they all sort of started to act. They all started to instigate stuff. They are not making it better. They're just making it worse on every single goddamn level. And Rhaenys walks up and she's like, "Listen, you guys need to know who's in charge. Don't forget who your damn queen is." And they were all just thinking whatever. And I love how we flash over here and we get the dithers of Dragonstone as we see Corlys and Rhaenys sharing a moment, a scene as they talk about their grandkids. They talk about getting Joffrey out of there and everything that's going to happen with their daughter taking off. It's a sad, beautiful, but still a uplifting, comedic, kind of funny scene because these two actors just play really well together, and you can see they enjoy working together. Maybe they don't. They're actors. I guess they could pretend. But it seems like they enjoy playing together. So you stick them with the fiery end. That's what the dragons need to learn, Ian. Dragon hiccups are called dickups. I like that. I thought Allie was going to give Crispy some money and remember that this is the Game of Thrones universe. It did seem like something was going on there. Some stern goodbye of some sort. I mean, you just said it, Ryan. Alicent gives Crispy the boob sweats. She gives me some. No. He gives her the boob. No, let me stop that. But there's nowhere I can go there with to an entertaining degree. So the Dithers of Dragonstone, they have a cool scene. And then this is where we see the eggs being sent off as she hopes for the future. And she sends off the baby too. It's sad. She doesn't want another kid put at risk for death. We get a goodbye, sisters saying goodbye. Then we get a good scene, and it's sort of maybe forgotten about scene when you think about the episode as a whole, but it was a really good scene because I love everything that we get with Helena. We don't get enough of her. So we get Helena and Alicent talking, just having sort of a decompression moment post Blood and Cheese. And it all ends up leading up to the point of her feeling guilty that she was banging Crispy, Alicent feeling guilty that she was banging Crispy at the time and sort of keeping him away from guarding something like this to happen. And then Helena knowing this and saying, "Mom, I forgive you." At least that's how I read the scene. Maybe it could be read in a few different ways, but that was how I particularly read it. Interesting change. Helena isn't a total wreck. Very good point, Cats of Saturn. She seems almost... I'm going to say the event centered her a little bit. It's weird. They definitely took a different tact with that. But maybe it's things to come. Or maybe that's something that just gets thought in memory in a situation. And the way someone tells a story of that may consider it different than the reality of it in that one. But I agree. It seems like, to me, she almost seems more clear of thought at the moment. Kelly Johnson. How lame was it in doing a late intro of Alice's brother? Not ideal. Definitely not ideal. And I don't like how we're sort of being introduced to characters in exposition within scenes where like, were we mentioning characters, even the way Darren's been introduced a little bit, and just like suddenly just, oh, Darren, blah, blah, blah. Or I mean, Darren's the brother, but like, it's just, yeah. I don't love it 100%. Your history might be wrong. 3 of those eggs look like Dany's eggs, and Rhaenyra was basically tasked with the job of protecting them in the Vale. I think these eggs thing might be one of the interesting points that comes out of this. I'd be curious to hear some more dragon experts' opinions of this and how this connects with it. So everyone in the live chat, keep that discussion going. I'm excited to hear it. Yes, that's what I believe, John Haymaker. I think she was forgiving her for riding the Crispy train when Crispy should have been guarding the safety of Helena's son. And that's why Crispy got angry in the last episode and pushed off Eric, complained about his cloak and all of that nonsense. I thought Helena was almost cold to her mother's happiness to an extent. The eggs went to Pentos. No. I keep thinking about Zork. Thank you, Ryan. I said anything about Z, now I'm thinking about Zork too, and King's Quest and Space Quest and Leisure to Larry, and oh my goodness. It's a night. You should do it. I wonder how many people are actually streaming Zork right now. I'm sure there'd be an audience for it. I know I'd watch. Ryan, send me them links. Thank you, Kelly Johnson. Okay, so let me push pause right here. We're getting close to the end of the recap here, and let me play a song while I run into the other room quickly and grab a drink. I'll be right back, everyone. This quick break is brought to you by Issues. Okay, hi everybody. This is the voice of Phil. I am here tonight to talk to you guys. Season masturbation peak. Okay, let me shut that off. Let's play some voicemails. We got a message from Heath Hinton in Pete's Live Music. Heath has been on the voicemail hold for a while, so let's play Heath's voicemail right. Oh, I have to stop this damn song first. Jeepers creepers. So let me turn this volume up right here. Let me put Joffrey on here so I can sit back and really enjoy Heath Hinton's message here, if you guys know what I mean. And let's play it. Thank you, Heath.
What's up, Phil? My brother from another mother. It's Heath down here in the deep south. Got an interesting question for you. Haven't seen Nettles yet. You think by now they would have introduced her?
I'm going to rewind this in a second. I just want to get before Sonic Your Boy's comment goes by. The guitar player is my cousin Craig. He's actually the guitar player in my current band as well. And I'm nothing special. Most of the guys I've been in bands with, you know, we're pretty good. Craig's the real deal. Craig can play it. Craig can play that guitar like he's ringing a bell. Go. He's the good one of us.
My brother from another mother. It's Heath down here in the deep south. Got an interesting question for you. Haven't seen Nettles yet. You think by now they would have introduced her? Do you think Raina gets Nettles, I guess, kind of story arc a little bit? Seem to be playing a lot in her with what's going on, her taking off with dragon eggs, kids. But I don't know. Are we getting Nettles and Raina and all this other stuff? Are we getting those combined together?
No, we're gonna get Nettles.
Would love to get your opinion on that. Anyway, talk to you later, my friend. Adios, amigos.
I do think we get Nettles, like real Nettles at some point. I don't know if it's going to be this year. I wasn't really paying attention. I wasn't really paying attention to all of the casting. Sorry, I just read a text that made me laugh. I don't know if you were watching, but that was a funny text. So I do think we're going to see the character at some point. It does make sense that we would have been introduced to her because we're starting to introduce to the Dragon Seed characters. But I feel like she's going to be the last one we meet. But I did not look at casting news. I don't know if she's cast yet. Heath Hinton, I'm sure if you ask the question in the live chat, someone who has seen the casting news will probably answer the question for you. But I'm assuming that we'll see her at the end of the season, get a hint at it, and see the character for next season. But it's hard for me to imagine that we will not see the character. Pete's live music. And I'll catch up on the super chats in a second, guys. I know I've missed a few.
Okay, so I'll rate these 3 to 1. So 3, 2, and 1. How would you rate these as the most shocking moment from this episode?
Okay.
Okay, was it number 1, the jump cut to the guy who was dead at the Battle of the Mill, and then they pull back to the big crowd? That jump cut to that guy. Was it the sewing the head back on?
Oh, yeah.
Or was it, of course, full frontal dick on?
Okay. I would say for me, number 1 was the sewing on. Like seeing Millie Alcott, like all of that was pretty fucking sick. I will say number 2 has to be
Dick on, dick on, dick on.
And number 1 was the jump cut because I expected it.
On, dick on, dick on, dick on. Dick.
Okay, so Alan's the guy from episode 2 that pulled Corlys out of the water. Yes, and the other guy, the Targaryen guy in the bar, is Hugh, right? To people that know the information best. That was the guy that was like, I'm a Targaryen. I'm half a Targaryen. I'm Damon's brother. I was surprised to see Millie too, and I loved seeing her. I think I said that last season. I hope to see her in a flashback or something. I didn't have Dream on my bingo card, but I'll take it. I'll take that shit. But I was surprised to see Millie as well. Keep it coming, everyone. Keep sharing it. I know we saw an early design for Needle. Is that what we saw? I think we did. Okay, please call in and leave a voicemail, 781-990-8509. Also, if I miss your comment in the live chat, you want me to get at it, you can text that number as well, 781-990-8509. As Cece just did, who's in our live chat right now. Phil, I almost believed Aegon when he lit the great value Kingsguard about the brothel visit, just to end up going to shaming Aemon. By the way, to too much information of the anatomy. Of course, my husband happened to walk in right at that moment. Isn't that? She's like, what are you watching? Are you watching? Like, what kind of shit are you watching right now? Bad timing. Don't watch this in public. Don't watch this one on your Wii, or on your Switch. What generation am I from? My Wii. Well, what was on my mind? I guess the Wii, calling it the Wii instead of the Switch in that particular moment. I don't think you can fault me for having the term Wii on my mind. I'm hoping we see Viserys in a flashback as well. The guy in the bar is Ulf. Okay, thank you, Ryan. Thank you. This is where I'm not as familiar. I don't know all the dragon seeds right off to go, oh, that's that guy. So it's interesting to me to watch them be introduced to the story, and I haven't necessarily followed their names. So thank you for letting me know. This isn't one of those live streams where I'm going to pretend to know everything. I need to learn from you people in the live chat, which is why I'm doing this, because it's the only way I can learn from you guys in the live chat. So let me catch up on some of this, some of the super chats I missed. Phil, what role will the children play in all of this? I don't know. I mean, if you subscribe into, and you should subscribe to Teflon TV, but if you're not subscribed to Teflon TV, make sure you do that. But if you subscribe to Tony's thing, in that everything is a vision, every vision that we're seeing, even the dragon dreams, are connected to the children, so they're the ones setting all of this in motion to a certain extent. So, oh, I mixed that drink way too strong. Kelly says, I think Dany's eggs are the ones that Alice Farman stole. How lame are introducing the brother like that? Okay, so I think I caught up on the super chats. Thank you, folks, for helping me out. Every little bit counts these days to help me pay a bill. Don't watch the episode of Work and Folk. Yeah, this isn't an episode to watch. Dude, this isn't an episode to watch in that kind of context, dude. Don't do it. No, Ryan, you're the best. You're the best. You make it easy. It's like I just need to sing the Donkey Kong rap or something.
Here we go.
Performance for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you wanna clap. As we take you through this monkey rap. DK, he's the leader of the bunch. You know him well.
Okay. We probably get copyright stricken for that. But it was worth it. It was worth it for the DK drop. Okay. Aegon only slept with one woman. And as far as we know, he slept with her, but he mainly cuddles with her naked, which is fine. I understand that. I don't always want to do it. I like to cuddle naked. Especially it's like an emotional kind of thing. And Aegon like spread his cheeks and he crapped all over that. Like, you got your brother with the strongest dragon of all time, or not of all time, the strongest dragon alive on your side. You don't want to mess with that. Sorry, I got alcoholically tongue-tied, as I tried to say. How come we see naked Aemon but no naked ladies? I don't know. I'll get into that in a second. So we didn't just see, people are focusing on the, we start that scene with, they walk in and we straight up see a blowjob on camera. Like straight up. There was no messing around. There's just like someone sucking dick in the corner of the fucking shot. Like straight there. But we'll get into this in a second here. So we go off to the clubfoot, acting creepy. Well, I'm acting creepy too, but no, he's really acting creepy. And he wants to talk private to the king. Hey, king, can I talk to you? Listen, king, I don't think you should go into battle because, I don't know what I'm saying. Or he just kind of plays him like a flute. He says, as some people are talking that the king is brave going into battle. But some people are talking like Alicent and Sir Crispy motherfucking Cole. That badass motherfucking crispy motherfucker. What's his name again? His name is... They call him Crispy Baby. He is the Dragon Lord. He's sexing baby. He's having on the floor. He's Crispy Baby. Okay. I'm not feeling... No. But yes, he's crispy. So, thinking that he's being controlled by that. And he's going... So, he's playing like a flute. And Aegon says... He plays Aegon and he convinces him not to go. And, yeah, good job. And then he says, listen, dude, I'm not going to go into battle, but listen, you should totally be my master of whispers. You're really good at your job, dude. And and that's all. That's all I gotta say about that. But then it's more. They call him Crispy Baby. Some people cover cream. No, I'll try that again. You say he's Crispy Baby, we call him Crispy Dream. He is the man, we say it, he is an alamine. He bangs her on the thing and licks that raping, rapping ride. He's crispy, whipping, baby, crispy, tiny, he's crispy. Okay, I feel better now. I got that out of my system. We all can go home now. I've embarrassed myself enough. And he's Krispy Kreme. Okay. So Aegon's like, you know what? Because I thought about this myself. I'm not going to go into battle now. I think I'm just going to get drunk with my friends and go to a brothel. Is that better? Does that work? Yeah, dude. In fact, one of my guys here is a virgin. Hey, let's go get him laid tonight. Party, dudes. Let's go get him laid. And make sure you wear your birth control and blood tests. Yes, Mark. Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, so Larys with Lord of Harrenhal since his pups and older yes, or since he was murdered them last season. He inherited that whole situation. He's pulling some Littlefinger, collecting all the points and collecting all these different rewards and such. I will definitely play that in a second, man. I'm having a musical evening right now. I'm enjoying the music. I'm enjoying listening to Craig rocking out tonight here. So I'll play a little bit more music in a second here. But I got a request for that. So let me find an opportunity to play that Marquet Houston for you. So Aegon's like, yeah, I'm not going into battle. I'm a lover, not a fighter. So we have some hidden Targaryen drinking games with what was his name again over there? We got Kelly. Kelly, thank you so much for the super chats. You are incredible tonight, my friend. With Ulf here. And we got hidden Targaryen drinking games. He's like, dude, I'm a dragon seed. I'm a Targaryen. And his buddy's like, yeah, sure, whatever. You're a Targaryen, our ass. Whatever, dude. And then piling on into this, who happened to come into my brothel on this night of all nights. And he comes on in. Aegon comes to the party. He's like, all drinks on the crown. And this is where I kind of like, someone was saying this earlier. You want to be on Aegon's side. You're like, oh, he's drinks for everybody. It's on the crowd. He's hanging out with the common folk. And then, he fucking rips apart his brother in a second here. And Aegon is drunk, rolling through here. And then we cut the next scene. We see someone getting a blowjob. Aegon's walking around, and he walks in on Aemon, cuddling naked with his girl. He makes fun of him. We talked about this a lot tonight. and rags on him, goes on a rant loudly and his friends, and then Aemon stands up, gives us a full frontal, like, yeah, motherfucker, and goes, I don't care about this woman, do whatever you want to her, and walks out. And yeah, and we get some dragon times. Okay. Then we get Crispy and crew heading out in the open area, just kind of walking through, and Crispy realizes quickly that they're exposed to dragons, and they kind of hear a dragon in the background. And then we get a chase scene, which is probably our excitement for the episode, our action for the episode. We get the horse racing the dragons as the dragon kind of chases them into the woods, and she could have burned down. Okay, I appreciate nature. Look at this hair. I'm a hippie-ish, border hippie-ish. Like I border the border of being a hippie. I shower and I like, heavier music than most hippies. But I do border the hippie situation. I'm known to hug a tree on occasion. But seriously, Crispy's down there. He's down there. You see him go right in the front. The general area of which he's in. Just burn that area of the forest. I'm sorry. Just do it. Make Crispy Krispy Kreme. And I know she got told not to engage, but still, kill Crispy when you get the opportunity. She knew. She was close enough to know who the fuck it was. Kill the damn Crispy. I wanted Dracarys there. I wanted her to burn half the forest looking for them. I was upset it didn't happen. Ryan, I'm not going to disagree with you. That was super weird. My first thought is, why skip a giant battle? Yeah, great point, Winter. They sort of just yada-yada'd it. Pillow time is sacred time. Hail to the king. Extra crispy. I wanted some extra crispy cream. John Haymaker. It's like extra heavy cream, but crispier. That might not be funny, but it's funny in my mind. Yeah, just go full Mad Queen. But in that situation, Jake, it's warranted. Just like Rhaenys when she had her opportunity to just burn them all in that moment. Just, there's moments where Dracarys makes sense. That's all I'm saying. There's moments when going full Dracarys is the best course of action in a scenario. Pete's Live Music, I see your voicemail. And I raised you another one. But you know what, Pete? As much as I want to play your new voicemail, I'm playing your old voicemail because we're at that part of this episode. So let's listen to what the recap guy had to say about this one more time from Pete's Live Music. You want to listen to your audio commentary for the episode? This is the kind of shit you're going to get.
Yes, it is time once again for the man we all await. Narration guy.
I know, just as easy as you, my boy.
He pulls back the curtain, revealing a woman giving fellatio to a man.
No. She's left 3 times.
He pulls back other curtains, showing women and men having sex.
Oh, good. Her name is, Sylvie, or...
Crispy.
Aegon opens a curtain. Beyond, Damon lies naked with a woman on the circular bed below the fresco. Damon stiffly sits up.
Eamon's appeared.
Yeah, too funny.
Amen is here. That's great. Thank you so much. I'm going to play your new message in a second here, too. We got the one and only Tim, who's popping on in this live chat to tell me to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, Tim.
I will. I'll shut the fuck up. And I promised I'd play the fuck auto song. Let me play this song from Market Houston.
It's a hot hour rent tonight. It's a hot hour rent tonight. Fuck auto, fuck auto, fuck auto, fuck auto. It's a hot hour rent tonight. It's a hot hour rent tonight. Fuck auto, fuck auto, fuck auto, fuck auto. It's a hot hour rent tonight. It's a hot hour rent tonight. Fuck auto, fuck auto.
Okay. So what's Jake? Crispy Karis. I like all of that. House of the Dragon is an entire HBO series about how women should be in charge of ship. In fairness, the story, though, if Rhaenys did that, what would we have? Yeah, the story wouldn't be very long. I mean, I think that's one of those key things in most dramatic sort of situations. It's like, yeah, if that thing happened, we just wouldn't have a series. Okay, where is Otto? Where's Otto? Where's Otto? Where's Otto? We get the Crispy crew heading through, and they make it to the woodsy. Ooh. All the guards thank Crispy, but he's like, we're only moving at night. No inns, you fucking idiots. So we go back to the table, and we get the report, and she's like, I didn't know what Bella's like, I didn't engage them, but Crispy's here. He's on his way. There's going to be people coming. And they talk a little bit more about how Damon needs to kind of keep his shit together. And this is all ultimately on Damon. More people saying Rhaenyra needs to just burn them all. And she's going to hear all arguments. And Jace didn't have much to do this episode except giving some hairy eyeballs. But he gave a good amount of hairy eyeballs in this episode to his mom. And we see some looks from Rhaenys as well. So we see Damon in shitty Harrenhal. And this is where we get into a dream of some sort. Something's blowing or trying to bang open his door. He opens his door, nothing's there. He walks through and he sees a woman doing something. And we look, and it's actually young Rhaenyra, Millie. And she's sewing up the throat of the child's throat that was killed. And it's sort of sick, Twin Peaksy kind of dream. It was awesome to see Millie playing Rhaenyra again in that moment. It worked really well, and Damon wakes up quick, and he looks scared, and he is next. I have to see where he was next to. Some people said that he was maybe next to a werewolf or something. I'd have to look back. I don't remember that necessarily, but now that I'm thinking about it, it sort of fills me with like, oh yeah, that's why I felt that way. Oh, do not be sorry, Ryan. I'm like Ron Burgundy. I'll just say whatever you read. Ryan, this isn't a normal chat room. Be yourself, my friend. Damon wakes up with damp underwear. Jace smoldered a lot of people, so not very. In all fairness, the story, yeah, absolutely. Total twin, yeah. So it was a little Twin Peaksy in this moment. It was. Peter Griffin, giggity, my friend. So, he wakes up. Alice Rivers tells him, you're going to die in this place. And he looks scared. Thank you. I am a dirty, dirty boy. Rhaenyra asks the White Worm about Alicent. She comes to Alicent. She's like, listen, I have some questions. I want to talk to the queen. Well, we can kill her. Well, I want to talk to her. Well, killing her would be easier. I like this scene. These two actors have some great chemistry. Rhaenyra and the White Worm. The two actors, they work really well off each other. I'm glad. In every scene that they've been in so far, they have a good back and forth, and this was one of their best. And it's just the White Worm. Well, I could kill her. That would be easy. But figures out a plan that will smuggle you in with the boats, and Alicent goes to church alone, or goes to, so we can figure out to kind of smuggle you in as a silent sister. No one's going to notice you, because if you don't stand out and you're not of wealth, you can kind of slip in through the cracks. No one's going to go, oh, there's Rhaenyra right there. So we go, and she's going to come try to talk to Alicent, try one last time to solve the problem without violence. She's going to choose trying to figure this out one more time. Will it work? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Will Alicent take Rhaenyra's pleas for friendship and stop this conflict? What is no fucking way? That's correct, Phil. You win Final Jeopardy. Fucking motherfucker. She did riot. Who said that? John Haymaker. I second that emotion. That was a very good look for Rhaenyra. It was a very good. Stop the conflict. Damon's wife is still pretty hot, I think. Young Rhaenyra was smoking. Millie is definitely a gorgeous, gorgeous young lady. No doubt, Ryan. Damon is dreaming about how his wife was hot back in the day. I can relate, says Ryan. How much did you wager? I wagered it all, John Haymaker. I always do the true daily double. It wouldn't be Jake. Jake, you make perfect sense, my friend. Rhaenyra asked the White Worm, so get me to Alicent. I gotta get to Alicent. So Rhaenyra makes her sneaky way into King's Landing. We find Alicent. We get the scene of her sneaking past. It's some espionage music going on here as we set up this final scene between Rhaenyra and Alicent finally getting together again to have the talk that they've always wanted to talk about. And they just go back and forth, and it's an interesting scene between the two of them. Nothing super is accomplished except they get to the point where they do figure out the madness of the prince that was promised thing. It sets up that last time we talked, you thought I'd be queen. What's up? I know you love my father. My father loved you. Everyone loved everybody. Happy day. It's wonderful here, right? He did not talk about you when he was dying. And in his last moments, I'm not making this shit up. I swear to everything in front of me, he wanted Aegon to be king. He said he was the prince that was promised. And Rhaenyra goes, wait. I'm paraphrasing all this. There's like, wait. Stop the execution, What is it this time, Alistair? She's like, wait. Prince that was promised? That's a prophecy. You got confused, dumbass. If we just figure this out now, we can stop a lot of people from dying here. Let's just rewind time, figure this out. And Alicent basically says, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I was sort of rushing at the end here of this episode and wanted to get out here and talk to you guys. But Alicent is like, I'll try to dial it back, but no, it's lightning's already out of the bottle. It's too late. It's not happening. They talk back and forth. She says, I swear he changed his mind. Alicent says, the prince was promised, blah, 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 blah. They try to dial it back, but Alicent says it's too late. The war has started. It's war, Peacock. There's going to be casualties. And that's ultimately the end of our episode of House of the Dragon. It kind of all leads up to that scene. That's the important moment that sets up our future. Is it possible for there to be an exit strategy before we get into full-on war? And I like this episode a lot, but I do hope this is the last episode of the war foreplay. Let's just get into the war. We've had enough of Rocky can't fight the fight. Let's get into the fight. We get it. Adrian, support Rocky. Let him fight the fight. We've had enough. We get it. Rhaenyra doesn't want war. She's tried everything to stop this at this point. It's okay now to just go full Dracarys on everybody. Let's just do this. Let's do it up, okay? I'm ready. I'm primed. They got me hot. Finish me off, okay? I don't need any more foreplay at this point. You foreplayed me for a season in 3 episodes. Give it to me now, right? And I hope they give it to me next week. I'm perfectly in that place where I'm the most ready for a huge conflict to happen between these two idiotic sides. But I do appreciate Rhaenyra trying to come at it from many different avenues. But I kind of agree with Alicent. It is kind of too late. You couldn't dial this back now. But let's go. Young and old. Young, absolutely. But I would even say they're almost completely different characters. Mad Sinister Macau. Great to have you in the live chat. Just finishing the episode. I'm excited to have you in my live chat. Issues Money Shot. Jack. Igor. Waiting for the next big moment. Thought it would be in this episode. Maybe next. I thought it would be in this episode too, Igor. It seems like it was a lot of tonight's episode was a big setup for next week's episode, and which is fine. I think it's the perfect timing for it. I'm ready for it for next week. This episode could be for some a bit too much foreplay, but I think it's the perfect amount. Just give it to me next week. Sci-Fi Girl also adds, Alicent refuses to admit she's wrong, even though at that moment she absolutely knew it. You could see it in her eyes. That actress has amazing exposition eyes. She can tell so much of a story with those eyes. And I think in that moment, you could just totally see her being like, I know, but I can't admit this. And that's where Alicent sucks. She's not, neither one of them are 100% right or wrong. Where Alicent sucks that way, she can't admit she's wrong. Let's listen to a couple of voicemails by Pete's Live Music.
Hey, Phil, just another thought. I watch with earbuds in, and I recommend everybody watch this show with earbuds or headphones. The score was really fucking good tonight. I thought it was really good. And that towards the end, I thought it sounded a little bit like Gladiator, but not quite. I thought it was different enough that it was like, original, cool. There's this great atmosphere from the score. I just don't know if you had noticed that during the episode. That's all I did. All right, man. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for doing the show. Have a great night.
No, thank you for calling in. This show wouldn't be fun without all of you guys calling. You want to call in right now? 781-990-8509. Again, that's 781-990-8509. I'm turning off the voicemail line, turning it on for calls. You want to actually call in and talk live on the show? Now's your time. Pete's Live Music, let's play his other voicemail right now.
Yeah, just wondering if you were thinking at all, Rhaenyra, when she was in her little sneaking in, outfit, reminded me a little of Septa Unella. The shame.
100%. I totally thought that. I'm.
So just wondered, thought the same thing. All right, man. Have a good one.
I am with you on that one. Totally thought me about the shame folk, and I also thought about Jon and Dany having boat sex. What?
Let's face the facts about Jon and Daenerys. A love that's kinda gross. Though she's proud to call the wolf her guy, the thought of it makes me groan inside.
I hope you all feel the same way too, and don't ever keep it inside. Cause a dragon eggs may need his wolf balls, but I just keep on laughing till I cry about
This boat sex, it's not what I want. Boat sex with the dude and his aunt. There's nothing needed about it in my eyes. If they'd ask for my opinion, I'd emphatically say why.
It's boat sex.
It's boat sex and it hurts my eyes.
That's true. It does. It hurts me.
They're closer than the average man and wife.
That's why her tattoo says Jon Snow knows everything.
He likes to ride a dragon's bareback.
He's the only Targaryen to be inside of her.
That's true. It was.
There's no need to clarify.
Oh no?
It just gets grosser and grosser each day.
Oh no, that's gross.
Like I had sex with my crazy aunt on a boat.
In a totally glorified way.
It's boat sex, that's gross, I admit.
Yep.
It's boat sex, it's making me sick.
Oh, I'm sick right now.
Feeling of watching two relatives having sex on a boat.
Oh, disgusting. Disgusting.
He'll be there to watch her burn it all.
She'll be there to watch them die.
Yeah, that's right.
Boat sex, and we all know why.
That's true.
When I say I hate this crap, it's just what it implies. It's boat sex.
Boat sex. I'm sorry, it's boat sex.
It's boat sex.
Oh no, it's so boat sexy.
It's boat sex.
Yes. Okay, that's true. That's true. I can't say anything about that. Okay, so let's go. Phil, don't act like you've never had sex in a boat. Listen, I get seasick. No one wants me anywhere near me when I'm on a boat. So no comment on that one though. I'm not saying I haven't, but I'm just saying no one wants me in a boat. Phil, I would love to direct a Game of Thrones Broadway musical. That I have enough songs. I think if we put them all together, we have enough songs. We have to lead it with this one, of course.
Now this is a story you all about how Westeros got flipped, turned upside down. If you want to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you all about the quest to take the Iron Chair.
Okay. So, anyways. So, let's continue. Let's take a couple more comments and questions and stuff like that. I'm not going to go anytime soon right now. Take a couple more comments here. Finish my drink before we call this a stream. Thank you to everyone joining me tonight. Please keep hitting that like button. Keep sharing this out if you can. Let's look at our poll, how we're doing with this poll. So far, 54% of people, and it seems like I can end the poll right now because it'll be tough for the others to catch up unless we get a surge of other people. But most people seem to be similar to my order. 54% of the people say episode 2 is the best of the 3. Let's see. We need it. Thunder Chucky, I need to do it. Traveling with Dramamine and all of that. Here we go. Do I have a text message here? Okay. Phil, I liked seeing Millie. Do you think we might see more of her in this season? Area code 304. 304, thank you so much for the text message. I don't know if we're going to see more of Millie this season, but I could see occasionally when they think it's appropriate to a scene that they're trying to do that we could bring back some of the younger actors that played some of these characters. I think if we're going to see anyone again, it will be her. I doubt we'll see young Alicent again or any of the younger versions of Aegon or Aemon or anything like that. Maybe we might see young Aemon somewhere along the way in a vision, but I doubt it. I could see situations where we see more of Millie on the show, but that being said, I'm still glad we got to see her tonight. I'm happy to see her play Rhaenyra one more time. Kelly Johnson, what powerful. I'm so Boston. Dude, what powerful fucking sorcery will this Alice Rivers character unleash onto the world, Kelly Johnson? Kelly Johnson, it's going to be an interesting dynamic to see this character come into the scene. I don't want to spoil too much for people that don't know what's coming with that character, but all I'm going to say is everyone keep an eye on Alice Rivers. It's going to be fun, Kelly Johnson. I think Patch Eye would be a better king than his brother. It seems like it. They've definitely implied that a lot in this particular episode. I saw Uncle Phil's ketchup couch in this episode. Pillowy mounds of smashed potatoes. Ryan. Again, I'm working some extra work on this show. I don't necessarily want to say that, but my mounds of mashed potatoes sitting in the back, the decrepit crypt keeper of my face, all over this episode. All over it. Live calls right now, jack me off. People want to call in. They're welcome to call in. 781-990-8509. Bro, the guy that plays Aemon was badass in The Last Kingdom. He really was. And I that's one of the things that doesn't get mentioned enough about this series. I love the casting. I think they did a really good job in all these casting jobs with these characters. They really play them up, especially with Aemon, I think Damon, Rhaenyra, older Alicent. Crispy's not exactly, but he is because I think he's a douche, and I should think he's a douche. But I think for the most, Otto is extremely hateable, but he's very much was a good casting job in how much I hate him. And Rhaenyra and Damon, in both cases, whether it be, I think Matt Smith has more chemistry with Millie, but I think both Damons and Rhaenyra really sell it, and they have this chemistry that really proves that Rhaenyra is ultimately a...
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. You're a dragon, Ryan, lion, Uncle Fucker. You're an Uncle Fucker, yes, it's true. No fuckers white like you. Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. You're the one that fucks your uncle, Uncle Fucker. You don't eat or sleep, just have some spawn and fuck your uncle all night long. What's that over there? I don't know. It's just the Targaryens infighting again. It's so typical. Which ones are on it again now? At least they're not on a throne. Rhaenyra and Damon. Oh, that's exciting. I don't Dragonstone yesterday. Uncle Fucker.
Okay. So, that's enough of that. So, but yeah, she's like the total uncle fucker. Okay, on top of it, we're not going to get a Snow spinoff. Next poll, worst douche, Crispy or Otto? I'll put that in right now. I should have put that at the beginning, but we might only get a smaller vote on that. But let me do that one. Bigger douche. Otto, bigger douche. Let me just put bigger douche. And then I'm sorry, I can't type and talk at the same time. I have to actually. Oh wow, I'm doing it. Did I spell? I probably spelled something wrong. But here we go. Let's do another poll here. Bigger douche, Otto or Crispy? Damon is getting mad OnlyFans money for these incest videos. Good one, Ryan. KJ, you always spit every time you say Game of Thrones Season 8, don't you? Kelly, just on top of it, we're not going to get this spin-off for the Snow spin-off. It's been canceled for now. Don't close the door on that forever. You never can tell. Another musical. Yeah, that one is, it's not my best work, but we'll take Uncle Fucker there. Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. Allison sells feet pictures on OnlyFans. OnlyWesteros.org is a real site. Be careful. Don't search things. Will we still get an Aegon the Conqueror show? I would think we're going to keep getting them till we get just about everything. Till they circle back and they reboot the entire main series. You laugh, but I don't know if I'll live to it, but it'll happen at some point. But especially if George ever finishes the books. I do think you're going to see an Aegon conquest of some sort. What kind of media it will be? Will it be something that's animated? Will it be a movie? Will it be a television series? I think one way or another you will see that. It's hard for me to imagine you wouldn't. That's on the list. Snow spinoff is a time travel backdoor for George R. R. Martin to fix the last few seasons of Game of Thrones. That's what I thought they were going to do with it a little bit. Try to use it to repair some of the fanfare, negative fanfare that is associated with that particular season. Redo Game of Thrones animated. I would not mind more animated stuff just in general in the world. Especially with stuff where actors may have aged out of roles, but you still want them to be the characters that read it or do it, or just an easy way to have characters redo their roles. I think Star Trek has done that really well with Lower Decks, where you have had some reunions of some legacy characters that pop up in ways that are easier digested because of the animated form. And I want Star Trek to do even more of that. That's where I want my Deep Space Nine spinoff or my Star Trek Legacy series. I wouldn't mind some animated stuff. There's too much. Exactly, Kelly. Kelly, yes. I mean, look at what they're doing with, they're rebooting fucking Harry Potter. There's going to be a Harry Potter TV show on, I think it's HBO, coming, was it next year or a couple of years from now or something like that? And it seems like that series just ended. Maybe I'm just old and it doesn't seem, but that one, they just recycle it. They're rebooting that one. I do think it would be hard for me to imagine that you'd ever see something like that unless George finishes the books. But if he does, then I could see a mindset to want to redo the entire Song of Ice and Fire series in the way that George put it out there. And an animated series would not be the worst choice. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that would be the pick, but I could see it done really well in I'm just trying to think of the style that I'd want. Maybe the animated style of Invincible kind of stuff. But I don't know. That's some pie in the sky thinking or hope for me. There's obviously not even a smell of a fart of that coming out anytime soon, but it's something that I would like to see if we could somehow figure that out. Yeah, Nancy Cartwright could totally do an awesome Rob Stark, Sonic your boy. We're talking animated Walking Dead like the comics the other day. Igor, I don't know if you watch Invincible, but they did a little bit of an animated Walking Dead thing on that, which was really cool. And it was better than that little couple of little scenes that they did in Invincible this past year was better than the last 5 seasons of The Walking Dead. It was just like small moments with the animated style of the Invincible animated style mixed with The Walking Dead. And you're like, wow, what that could be. It was kind of cool. Do it with AI, and we just have the same characters we loved from the original Game of Thrones. Everything is barely recognizable. It just keeps coming back because of money and nostalgia. Tarkovsky would nail a Game of Thrones animated. That's a great pick, Kelly. There's Alien series coming out. Interesting. But that's a great pick, Kelly. There's too much money. Yes, with animated, you don't have the problem with actors aging. I don't know if you saw or anybody saw the Deep Space Nine episode of Lower Decks where Quark and Kira came back for the episode, which was really good to see that. Game of Thrones claymation, I could deal with some celebrity deathmatch, animated style Game of Thrones stuff. I'd watch. The amazing Jackie C is in the house right now. Toast to Jackie C. Jackie C, are you on vacation? Or did you just get back from vacation? Or am I making that up? Or is that in my imagination? Or am I thinking too much about Jackie C? Toast to Jackie C. Am I too intrusive into your life? And the wonderful Carla is in the live chat. Great to see Carla as we're finishing up here. But it's great to see some of our friends popping on in here, saying hello. I don't know why I said that. I decided to slow down my roll. Okay, Pilgrim. Slow down your roll. It's time for more boat sex, motherfucker. It's time to play boat sex again because I want to take a quick second.
Let's face the facts about Jon and Daenerys. A love that's kinda gross. Though she's proud to call the wolf her guy, the thought of it makes me groan inside.
Okay, that's better. Sorry, I need to bridge the gap of that right there. Casanova Frankenstein, Sonic your boy. How about a Game of Thrones in the style of Labyrinth with Jim Henson? If you can bring Jim Henson's I tried to say. If you can bring Jim Henson and his team into something like that, I mean, the Henson team into that, that'd be amazing. One of those underrated things about the first Ninja Turtles movie is the reasons why those animatronics look so amazing is that was one of the last things that Jim Henson, I believe, had a finger in. And then the second movie was done by his son, or maybe his son did all of the Ninja Turtles stuff. I could be making that up in my mind, but either way, the Henson studio is what did the Ninja Turtle first movie, which is why they're so good. Star Trek Discovery ended great. Sad that it ended. I have a lot of that to catch up at some point. I am going to be talking about some other shows and some other random stuff right now. I'm going to be on for a little while more until I finish this drink. But we're going to open up the discussion to anything besides House of the Dragon. As we can still talk about House of the Dragon. You have questions about that in this episode. We'll go down that road. But if you want to talk about some other shows or some other things right now, I might go in that direction. I will give you full warnings of that. I was talking a little bit earlier about this season of The Bear. I would say if I'm ranking the seasons of The Bear, season 3 is my least favorite of the 3. That doesn't mean it's a bad season. I just like season 1 and 2 so much. Season 3 was a little more, how do I explain it? I think it's going to add more to the show as a whole, but as a season as a whole, as a total focus, it did not quite move me as much as the first 2 seasons, but it was more of a character piece season, really diving into each individual character. That all being said, I have decided, and I'm making this decision right now, Joffrey Baratheon, first of my name, protector of the realm, have declared that Jamie Lee Curtis is the greatest actor of all time. Fuck Marlon Brando, fuck anyone else. Jamie Lee Curtis, if you like her, if you like realistic, toxic characters on your screen, I implore you to at least go on YouTube and find scenes of her from season 2 and season 3 of The Bear. Jamie Lee Curtis is putting in, maybe for me, one of the greatest single performances since Heath Ledger played the Joker. That's how high I am, and I'm very high right now. But that's how high I am on her performance in this role. It's episode 7, I believe, of this season, called Ice Chips. I don't want to spoil what happens, but it is an amazing exploration of a mother-daughter relationship. And it's done exceptionally well. And Kelly Cuoco, is that her name? From Big Bang Theory. She's also on The Bear, and she's working opposite Jamie Lee Curtis a lot in this episode. And I got to give her flowers as well for standing up in a performance and balancing it off with Jamie Lee Curtis in this kind of thing. The Bear as a whole, season 3, I'm not going to say it's my favorite season. I'm not going to say it. There was some moments, the fuck you moment there was some moments of excellency this season, as there was in all of it. But I just think the narrative as a whole was stronger in the first 2 seasons. But Jamie Lee Curtis in some individual performances this season, wow. Fucking wow. Check it out. If you've watched The Bear, if you haven't watched The Bear, I recommend it. It's a show that's not going to make you feel good. It's a show that makes you feel bad. Really bad. And I'd also like to announce right now that Tony and I are going to be covering The Traitors season 3. For the first time ever, Tony and I will be covering a reality show. Yes, The Traitors is a show that, if you haven't watched it, and you have any affinity for reality shows, I highly recommend watching seasons 1 and 2 of The Traitors US. Also, there's a British version and an Australian version. I've watched both versions as well because I just like the concept of the show. The Australian version is really good. It's been canceled, I believe, so it's not new episodes, but the British version is pretty good too. But I think I like the US version the best because I like the host the best in the US version. But highly recommend it if you haven't watched it. But Tony Teflon and I will be covering season 3 of this show because I can't wait to see it, and it's a lot of fun. And there's some Survivor contestants on it. So if you're at all have an affinity for those kind of stuff, absolutely watch that. Okay, so I'm definitely high too. Fuck Marlon Brando. Fuck Marlon Wayans' wife. I'll do both. 3 Body Problems is the best show so far. But yes, I highly recommend Jamie Lee Curtis. The Bear, I'm more of a fan of an otter. But I'm bumped. They already pissed me off with the 1099 canceling. And we also got Cobra Kai coming pretty soon to see how that show chooses to finish off their story. D&D are attached to 3 Body Problems. We'll never forgive them for the Marco Polo cancellation, Santa Clarita Diet. For me, what is your... People in the live chat, throw it in there. Some of you are throwing it in there as well already, but let's aggregate it all into one. What is your biggest... let's be more specific here instead of doing it as a whole, because there's a couple shows that I would... My biggest would probably still be Quantum Leap, the way the original Quantum Leap ended. What is a show that Netflix canceled on you that pisses you off the most? For me, it's Glow. I really loved all the seasons of Glow that we got. They started filming the first 2 episodes of the new season. They canceled it as they were filming it. And it pisses me off. That's the biggest one for me. That maybe Santa Clarita Diet as well. But Mindhunters. Those 3. But even though Mindhunters is more because Fincher didn't want to do more of it, I'll still passively blame Netflix for causing that fucking problem somehow. But those 3 are the biggest ones for me. Glow, Mindhunters, and Santa Clarita Diet. How about some of you guys in the live chat? What are some of your biggest fuck you Netflix for canceling your show? Or just in general shows that were canceled before their time that really pissed you off? Big one for me for way back in the day is My So-Called Life. Yeah, that's right. I need to know where that shit went. I need to know if she gets with Jordan Catalano. I need to know. Tell me the truth of it all. Tell me, Tyrion.
Well, Where do I begin, my lords and ladies?
I am Tyrion, son of Tywin of Clan Lannister.
I'm going to die. May as well be with a song in my heart.
Imp! 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 Dwarf! Dwarf! You should have stopped at imp.
Drinking and lust. No man can match me in these things.
I'm a monster.
Drinking and lust.
That's what I do. I drink and I know things. The Lord of Light wants his enemies burnt.
There you have it.
The Drowned God wants them drowned.
Nothing to worry about.
Why are all the gods such vicious cunts? Where's the god of tits and wine? I drink.
I'm a vile man.
I drink.
I confess it.
I drink.
I'm a vile man.
And I know things.
I'm a great fighter, too. I have lied and cheated, gambled and whored.
That's what I do.
I am the god of tits and wine.
What about the dwarf? Worthless. Chop off his cock.
Let's discuss this.
The dwarf's cock has magic powers.
Wait!
We find a cock merchant. We'll sell it for a fortune.
You can't just hand a dried cock to a merchant and expect him to pay for it. He has to know it came from a dwarf. And how could he know?
It will be a dwarf-sized cock.
Guess again.
What do you want? Gold? Women?
I'm here to help.
Gold in women?
Don't eat the help. Tits and wine.
Stick with me and you'll have them all.
Let's get a couple ones. We get Shadow and Bone. Says Jake Cruz, the Casanova pugilist. Great name. Netflix should make a show about shows getting canceled and cancel it after one season. I think that's a great thing. I'm going to add Winning Time as a Celtics fan that a Lakers series got canceled by HBO and the final episode of it had the Celtics winning the championship. That's just so apropos of fuck you Laker fans. Sorry, Laker fans. Lovecraft County on HBO. Huge one, Sci-Fi Fantasy Girl. If you want some amazing coverage for when that show was on, you can go back and watch Teflon TV, who covered that show. Lovecraft County is a huge one as well. Good pick, Sci-Fi Girl. Utopia, great show that came out before COVID, canceled after one season. Mad Sinister says, I got a bear question. I'll get to that question at the end. I'm just going to read some of these. Mad Sinister. Marco Polo for the amazing Smokahontas. Dark Matter was a great series that was canceled by Sci-Fi and then picked up by Netflix. A lot of shows were done in that situation where they were canceled by one thing and then picked up by Netflix. It's an interesting dynamic where Netflix has saved some shows, like that show You was canceled and then picked up by Netflix. Scrubs was canceled and then picked up by ABC. It was canceled by, was it NBC and then picked up by ABC? Like certain shows are definitely canceled and then picked up by other networks. But Netflix has been notorious for like having shows like not letting shows finish their story or not telling shows that they're getting ready to cancel and letting them set it up for a finish of the story. Marco Polo is a big one for a lot of people. Sense8. Yeah, another one might need more Marco Polo. Marco Polo seems to be a big one for a lot of people. Santa Clarita Diet, like I said, is a big one for me. And wait one second. Sorry, I'm stalling here to light stuff. And I have to thank again Pete's Live Music for doing a lot of these Game of Thrones mixes that you're hearing. For putting these together back in the day. Rome is a big one. And that's the other thing, like certain shows that don't cancel, and this is apropos for Game of Thrones universe stuff too. When it's hard to go back. Do people that don't like the final season of Game of Thrones, do you find it hard to go back and do a rewatch? Do you stop at a certain point, or do you make it all the way through and just grit and bear it? It's an interesting one where if you don't like the way something finishes, do you go back and watch it? Does an ending of a series destroy an entire series? I think it depends the series. In Game of Thrones case, I don't think it does because I think especially the early seasons, each individual episode is almost its own universe. So you can kind of watch it. And if you don't like the end seasons, you can kind of skip through them and stuff. It doesn't soil the entire series as a whole from a television standpoint. Something like How I Met Your Mother. I think does. It's hard for a lot of people to go back and watch that like they watch other sitcoms on repeat, knowing how that series ends. Lost is another one for people. I know some people like the ending of Lost. I don't hate it, so I can rewatch it. But the people that hate that ending, they can't watch that show again. You can't watch season 1 and be like, oh, this is really great television. No, because they're so frustrated with the way the series ends. So I guess it's a question for you. Does a series end, if the series ends bad, are you less likely to go back and rewatch it? Does that soil the whole series for you? Especially specifically with Game of Thrones. I enjoy every minute of Game of Thrones. Finale sucked, but the journey, says Casanova Pugilist. I'm sick of the Lord of the Rings bullshit, just another money grab. Oh, did you hear? There's a new Gollum movie going out. It's going to be good. Sci-Fi Girl says it's hard for me to even watch Hot D. Iron Thrones says the bad ending is the beginning of the end. Sonic says I liked Game of Thrones start to finish. I'm a non-book reader. Yes, I can't watch Game of Thrones over again, says Kelly Johnson. No. I want Wheel of Time to be good. Amazon saved the expense from Sci-Fi. Final season. Cancel Wheel of Time. That shit sucks. Pete's live music. I kind of hope Amazon does cancel the Wheel of Time. Manifest was picked up by Netflix for the final season. Last season was okay. We're getting a few of these shows that were canceled. Rome is a big one. Police Squad, Star Trek, TOS, Twilight Zone were all canceled at different points in time. TOS, I mean, back in the day, television shows were canceled so quickly and so easily. But yeah, if a show ends poorly, it absolutely messes up rewatches. If a show ends good, it makes you excited to watch the show. We talk about bad endings so much with association to Game of Thrones and other things. What are some of your favorite series finales? Shows that end in a really positive, not positive way, it doesn't have to be positive, in a way that gets you excited to rewatch the show or makes you satisfied with the conclusion you get from that particular series. Is there any ones that pop out to you guys in the live chat that are shows that are like, these just ended perfect? I love how this ended. It's tough. Shows ending are tough. 6 Feet Under is the first one that pops into my mind as a perfect ending to a series. This Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are both pretty damn fucking good, if I say so myself. Even though the final few seasons of Weeds sucks, that final scene where they all walk out and smoke a joint on the porch while the song from the first episode plays was a great ending to that series. The real ending of Scrubs, my finale, is an amazing ending. The ending of Cheers is one of the greatest endings to any series ever as well, and really ties the series all together. Let me think of some other I mentioned Breaking Bad before. I'm trying to think any other ones that pop out to me. Mad Men, I think, is a pretty good finale. But let's get in the live chat. Ozark ended well. The Wire is a good ending. Bloodlines, Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad. Sons of Anarchy was a good one. The Leftovers. Leftovers was a really good one. The best ending was Breaking Bad. Dexter was so bad. Mad Sinister. It had 2 bad endings. That's how bad Dexter was. It had two of them. Some shows suck all the way and then have a good finale. You know, like they end up sucking, but eventually finish things off with a positive finale. Oh, Newhart. The Newhart finale is maybe one of the best finales. I agree with that. That wake up to situation was perfect. Let's see what else. Better Call Saul, but I can see it. Deep Space Nine. As much as I am a Deep Space Nine fan, in the sense that that's my favorite Star Trek, I haven't done this list yet, but if I was making my top television series, my favorites, not the best, but my favorite list, Deep Space Nine would be in the top 5. And it would be the only Star Trek series in the top 5. I'd have other Star Trek series in like my top 10 or 15 or whatever if I really started breaking it down, but Deep Space Nine would be like my top 5. That all being said, Next Generation has the better ending. Next Generation has maybe one of the best endings of any series ever. I wasn't thinking about that, but you saying Deep Space Nine popped that in my head. All good things, for me anyways, the card game at the end and all that shit, like, it. I think you could not end Star Trek Next Generation better than you ended it with All Good Things. One more cue, continuing on the way that with the time travel stuff, or the not the time travel, the Picard, in the future stuff. And seeing the past of when he first got on there, and seeing Tasha again, all of that, everything all together, I would say All Good Things. If I was making a best series finale list, maybe close to the top of that list. Breaking Bad would absolutely be there. 6 Feet Under, amazing. If you haven't watched 6 Feet Under for whatever reason, it ends exceptionally well. Picard season 3, that ending was incredible. I was crying a lot through Picard season 3. It definitely hit me in the member berries, all over the member berries. Animal Kingdom, Dexter season 4 is my all-time favorite show. When Dexter was good, it was really good. Really was. Phil, what do you think about Picard? I watched a couple episodes, didn't like it. I heard other people say it's like Picard. Season 1 and 2 are tough to get through for a lot of people, and myself included. There's moments, there's things that I like about both those first 2 seasons, but for the most part, skip them. Watch season 3. If you like Star Trek The Next Generation, season 3 is the best Star Trek The Next Generation movie. Is it perfect? No. I could rip it apart if I wanted to. I probably will at some point. Is it member-berry Star Trek gold? Yes. And I do think it touches on all those points you want in a Next Generation movie. So I would say if you haven't watched Picard, skip 1 and 2, start with season 3. Kelly Johnson, you did not need to do such a thing. But I'll take it because I'm poor as a motherfucker. So Kelly Johnson just gave me a PayPal. Thank you, Kelly. Says, Phil, can you talk about the ridiculousness of the overall story of House of Dragon? It's basically one family who has 20 mansions arguing about who gets the biggest mansion out of the 20. In the preview of the new animated that part first. Yeah, I mean, going into this series, not being the biggest fan of too many Targaryens, I did be like, yeah, I mean, this is ultimately Targaryens arguing about, having an inner family stink that we're having to sit through. So if you're not so much a Targaryen fan, I can understand why this series might be infuriating. And their pompousness and all that stuff. So, and the preview of the new animated Batman with Bruce Timm looks shady. Has that moniker updated modern audiences. I found that never a good sign. I haven't liked a lot of the more recent Bruce Timm crew stuff. But I have hopes, I guess. But with Kevin gone, I don't know. It's tough for me to get excited for it. I'm just excited that we got so many hours of entertainment from Bruce and Kevin and Mark and the whole crew when everyone was together. I don't have a lot. I'll watch it, but I'm going in with low expectations when it comes. Sci-Fi Girl says it perfect. Picard season 1 was okay. Decent. I think it ends poor. I think it starts pretty good. I like some of the stuff they do with it and some of the hints. They're pushing it. Season 2 was trash. Trash. Fucking trash. Season 2 is one of the worst Star Trek seasons ever. Ever. Worse than any season of Discovery. Except for maybe the first one. It's bad. Season 2 is bad. At least for me it was. It was horrible. Season 3 is good. Is it fantastic? Is it the greatest arc of a Next Generation story? No, but it's good. And they actually use all the characters. Like, all the Next Generation characters have a use, which is something you never saw in the Next Generation movies. They never knew what to do with Beverly and Deanna in those movies. They never knew what to do with Geordi in those movies, or Worf really either. I would say Picard season 3 figured out what to do with everybody. That wasn't Data, Picard, and Riker. What the fuck is that? God bless you. Jeepers. Dog is having a sneezing attack. Are you okay, Barkley? You okay, Barkley, buddy? Oh my goodness, that scared me though. Dog's okay. I knew that that's something has to take Claritin and stuff. But that scared me. Whoa! I didn't know where it was coming from. Barkley. What's the show with the... Oh, I forget what it's called, but I know the one you're talking about. I'm mad that they stole the whole shapeshifter thing from Deep Space Nine for Picard, though. I'm upset that they did that and didn't do it right. Because it should have just been that they were the adversary. They didn't need to throw the Borg in at the end. Or it could have been... They could have done it in a more interesting way where they make those two adversaries work together. I think the series... when it shifted to Borg instead of shapeshifter stuff is when I sort of lost. I thought Amanda Plummer as our villain was really good. And when we lost her, spoiler, I guess, the good guys win, spoiler, but bad stuff happens to certain people. So whatever. I think the season lost a little bit because she was a good antagonist. They should have just had her be Endgame and push it out a little bit instead of making the Borg... Spoiler again, the Borg Queen come back again. Red Dwarf is fucking classic. One of the best. One of the best. Thank you guys for indulging me at the end. I know everyone's not going to stay to listen to me indulge my random sci-fi and random television show babblery, but I'm nursing this last drink and I don't want to go quite yet because I'm having fun talking to all of you folks. Better Call Saul is still the best spin-off that can hold its own weight and overshadowed by Breaking Bad. Casanova Pugilist, there's a lot of good spin-offs. I agree with your proposition there. I would only add one amendment to it. There's a lot of really good spin-offs, especially from Happy Days and All in the Family. Like those two shows spun off a lot of really good shows that deserve mention in this conversation that we're having here. Especially All in the Family really spun off a lot of really good television programs. That being said, you're right. It's Better Call Saul and one more. You gotta give... Wanna hear the blues are calling, toss salad. You gotta give Frasier his due as well. Frasier might be a different kind of show and not for everybody with the pompous douchebaggery that rolls over that show, but also a little bit of an edge. It also is the other example of the most successful and well put together spinoff of all time. That equals the value of its original parent show, and in some cases, in a lot of cases, surpasses it to the point where, oh, Frasier's even from another show. Some people that like Frasier don't even know anything about Cheers. So where with Better Call Saul, most people would know about Breaking Bad. But that being said, my friend Nick, for instance, watched Saul first, and then he tried watching Breaking Bad a couple of times and couldn't get into it, and then he got into it and then someone suggested he watch Better Call Saul. He watched that, he loved it, and then went back and finally appreciated Breaking Bad. So it is interesting the way people come at things, but I would say besides a lot of really good comedies that came out, Norman Lear or the Happy Days stuff that came out, like Mork and Mindy and Laverne and Shirley and that kind of stuff coming from Happy Days, I would say it comes down to Better Call Saul and Frasier. Those two. They're the two greatest spin-offs, the most successful, the ones that created the most audiences not based on their parent company, their parent series. It's like, oh, you keep it. Keep it, Ryan. House of the Dragon desperately needs some comic relief. I'm Deep Space Nine. Kelly Johnson, myself as well. Deep Space Nine is easily my favorite Star Trek series. And like I said, maybe I'm speculating because I'm not actually making the list. I would say number 3 or 4 on my list of favorite television series of all time. Maybe even higher some days. Hey, Phil, can you look at my content about... Oh, the bear... I'm sorry. I missed it. Let me scroll up about your... I got a bear question, Phil. No spoilers for any season, just a theory. You think Uncle Jimmy killed Michael accidentally? Ooh, I never thought about that. And there lies a question. Is there something even extra nefarious hiding underneath all of what's going on here? And I do think there might be, and you might be onto something with that particular one. I like it. it's certainly a possible. Uncle Jimmy seems like there's been some shady shit. So I do think that that's not something I necessarily thought about, but that is a very good theory that I may expand on in my own mind. I'm going to do a full rewatch of that in a moment. I know it's already been renewed for another season, and I'm excited to see. I hope however many seasons we get of that show, they're allowed to finish on their own accord. Okay, a couple more questions, and then I'll wrap this up. You guys you've heard enough. You've heard enough of this shit. I don't like Damon, Rhaenyra, Alicent, any of them. The Frasier reboots needs more cameos. It does. I think it worked best when we did get those cameos. The Roz moment was amazing at the end. We need Niles. He needs to show up. I think Alan, his friend from the school, is the best new character in the show, and I think we need Alan, Frasier, and Niles in a scene together. I mean, David Hyde Pierce is a talented and works and doesn't need it, so we may never see it, but I think that's the thing that's missing from it. I like the Frasier reboot. I don't love it. I would like it if Niles was on it. It's that simple. It's that simple. Even though the other two characters would not be there, Daphne pop up, whatever, and obviously rest in peace, John. I forget his last name, Martin Crane, but not having David Hyde Pierce really hurts some of the ability that they have. They mitigated a little bit with Alan because Alan is can talk to Frasier in that similar way, but I still think you miss David Hyde Pierce in the show. I'll talk to Joe, and I have been talking about this. My theory argued that Michael that money came from somewhere, right? The only Star Trek I really liked was TOS. To me, it's Kirk and Spock. A lot of people are like that, Julie. There isn't any Star Trek past Kirk and Spock. And for a long time, I was like that too. Deep Space Nine was the one that changed me on that. As much as I actually got into Next Generation because I got into Deep Space Nine first. I could not at first get into Next Generation. And Voyager took me a while to get into. But someone said, "Oh, you like the original cast? The chemistry of the cast that's most like the original is Deep Space Nine." So I checked it out, and it's true. It's true in a couple ways. Quark and Odo are the most like Bones and Spock. Like their antagonist relationship is the closest to the Bones and Spock we get in anything. The Miles is not a 1-for-1 for Scotty, but you can definitely see similarities between Miles Edward O'Brien and Scotty. I think the chemistry of the cast is most similar to the original cast too, in the sense of the way they all work together and have this gravitas about them, and even slightly overacting with our lead. The way Sisko enunciates things sometimes, and the crossover with the original series cast in Trials and Tribulations. But I am a big fan of that original cast and the movies and everything. I think they are Star Trek. Star Trek to me, when I close my eyes and think about it, as much as I'm a Deep Space Nine first fan and I love Data, when I close my eyes and say Star Trek, it's Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. It's Spock and McCoy arguing, really. Even more than Kirk. For me, it's Spock and McCoy. I mean, look. Oh shit. Sorry, I had to mute that because the microphone was going to make an ugly sound. But I have Dr. McCoy is literally staring at you guys in most podcasts. Deep Space Nine. Strange New Worlds is not surprisingly, but it was really good. That and Lower Decks, obviously, but both those shows kind of gave me faith in Picard Season 3, gave me faith in New Trek. I was in a dark place before that. But all three of those shows are quality and have done really good stuff. I didn't like Voyager. Maybe it was because, I think the problem that wasn't necessarily that, wasn't that Janeway was in charge. It was that they made it in a situation where Janeway could never be wrong. and she acted like a psychotic, and people could still know. The problem with that show wasn't Janeway and wasn't Seven. It was Chakotay and fucking Harry Kim and all these fucking douchebag pussy assholes that were just horrible, not strong enough characters to battle that situation. So I would say that would be the case in that. But I see what you're saying, Ryan. Deep Space Nine was the shit. Deep Space Nine is the best one of them all. Okay, everyone. I'm going down on a rabbit hole that probably not anyone wants to hear. So I guess I should start to wrap this up. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I will most likely be back next week. The chance I might be on Monday instead of Sunday. We'll see how the weekend goes because it's the holiday weekend. And I have a friend in town, and Saturday night is going to be a late night. But that being said, I will 95% sure be out here next week. And if not, I'll be out on Monday or something like that. But we will be back next week for more of this fun. And if you haven't already and you like this stuff, Season 4 of Stranger Things really was kind of a masterpiece. I really did like it. To me, Deep Space Nine isn't Star Trek. They're not trekking anywhere. I know a lot of people do feel that way about Deep Space Nine. I respect that. I mean, they did get the Defiant eventually and did travel places. But that is a legitimate criticism that some people have about Star Trek, about Deep Space Nine compared to the other Star Trek series. That it was stationary, unlike the other series that travel somewhere. But Deep Space Nine is the best Star Trek. It is. It's the one that the writers cared most about the audience, and it comes through, especially seasons 3 through 6, but 3 through 7. The writers respect the audience the most on that series to almost any show in existence. But I could talk about this stuff forever. I have issues. I love you guys. I'll talk to you next time. I'll be back next week. Have a happy holiday if you travel, if you celebrate such things. Yeah, they did. They traveled to the end through a wormhole into aliens and all that sort of stuff. Deep Space Nine, when you get into it, is more Star Trek-y than you would think from what the premise is. Red Dwarf is fucking amazing. I can't hate on you for your perspective. Goodbye, Issues family. Make sure if you haven't, even though you're watching this right now, come back and watch it and just like it and share it out because, I want this to get to as many people as possible, so I do appreciate it. Thank you, Jake Cruz, for making this video fun to make because you guys are awesome. I'm happy right now. Some good stuff's happening, so I'm going to feel good. Toast to that. Toast to Lena. Toast to you, Lena. I'll talk to you all next time. Peace. Until we meet again.